this is David Stark from WatcherPass.com, your website for movie reviews, interviews, and recommendations. Today I'm talking to Reine Swart about the all-new horror battle royale film Triggered. We're going to talk to Reine in just a second, but first let's check out that trailer. And while you're watching, if you could like and subscribe to this channel, that would be great. It helps me out a lot. Thank you.
We haven't all been together in a while.
To old times?
Takes me back to high school.
Been a long time since I taught all of you. So good to see you again. Tonight's your final lesson.
What the hell are these?
Is this like laser tag?
They're timers.
We're in the middle of the woods with bombs strapped to our chests.
Get this thing off of me! What happens when these timers hit zero, huh?
He didn't tell you the rules.
What rules, Bobby?
We can steal each other's time to stay alive.
So the more you kill, the more time you get.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining me. I'm really excited about this. I talked to Liesl earlier today, so I kind of had a lot of my questions answered, but happy to talk more about this film.
Okay, cool. Thank you, David.
So, this film comes out on November 6th, digitally and on demand. So, I think going kind of direct to everyone is probably kind of a new experience for you. I know you have a lot of acting in your past. So, what's it been like kind of having a movie come out during COVID and then, the whole promotion for a film during COVID?
Yeah, it's been a lot different. I think everyone hoped that they would go, even if it's limited theatrical, but it just doesn't make sense, because you have to put a lot of marketing money into a theatrical, and it doesn't make sense. And I think it's the smart thing to do video on demand because everyone's at home, and so it's been different. Hey, it's been a strange year and daunting, and but it's a big privilege to have a film actually releasing this year. I think especially for independent films, it's a good time because a lot of the bigger films are pushing out to next year. So I think it's, filling the gaps and everything. And I think that's a really smart thing to do, even though I think Alastair did a great job. He's a mad genius, as I say. So I think he made a pretty cool film.
It's a really great perspective. I mean, you see, films like Tenet coming out and they're making $2 million at the theaters, and it just, probably doesn't make sense. But if you go digitally and on demand, people can just watch it at home, and hopefully it kind of gets the recognition it deserves. And I think your point about indie films is right on. I mean, I've seen a lot of indie films in this whole lockdown period. It's been nice for them to kind of fill the gap and let you see new stories, new perspectives, maybe something different that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
And so you have some horror in your past as well. I kind of put this as a horror film. It's kind of like a horror battle royale, but I would say it's probably more in like the horror thriller genre, maybe a little action. Is there something about horror that, that draws you, or maybe you like some of the stories, or was there something about the horror genre that attracts you to that film?
So I'm a big fan of like fantasy horror because for me it just takes you out of the real world. It takes you somewhere else and you just forget reality for a moment, and I guess I like that part of it. So for me I've never worked on a fantasy film before because it's just never been done where I've never auditioned for anything like that. But horror is the closest thing to something that's unreal and taking you somewhere else. And for me, that's really using your imagination and creating this world that doesn't really. Triggered, I guess it can exist, but I think it's a little, ambitious to think it can exist. but I think Triggered's really fun and suspenseful, and I guess I like that part of it. It's gory and everything, and my mom's always like, why do you watch this? I'm like, no, it's really fun to watch. It's just yeah,
and I think right now anything that could get people outside, even in a movie context is not a bad idea. And this one also makes you maybe not want to go outside. Maybe you're happy to stay indoors because you're not out in the woods. So.
Yeah, don't go camping with a group of friends. It's not a great idea.
And if you do, get COVID tested and also set up security cameras because.
Oh, that's so true. But the woods, you know, you've seen movies where there's a monster, you know, hunting, and then it's a bear. So the woods, I don't know why people still go there. We do warn them with the movies. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very unique situation, but you're right. There is a lot of unknown in the woods, but there's a lot of unknown in the real world right now. So maybe
Oh, that's so true. Oh, but that's so true. Yeah, yeah.
I guess I'd rather risk it maybe with a bear. At least I know what their motivation is.
That's true. Yeah. No, outside we can. That's very scary. Yeah, with the pandemic and everything. Yeah, that's true.
And you know, so it sounds like you know, maybe you like aspects of the film. Was that, you know, I guess the characters, or was there something about this film specifically that drew you? Had you worked with Alastair before, or seen his work, or anything like that?
I've seen The House on Willow Street. That's a film he did previously, and so obviously he's a big South African director, and I knew about him, so I was really keen to work with him, and I was just lucky enough to get the Reine part, because Reine, I really liked her when I read the script. She just, obviously she's the brainy one, so that's kind of cool, and she makes up all the plans and what to do and how to save everyone, even though she, you know, but anyways, don't want to give away anything. Yeah. But she has layers as well, you know, even though it's very fast paced and it's just horror, fun, everything, but she does have layers, even though you don't get to see a lot of it, but you get to see some of it.
Yeah, I really liked, you know, how smart she was, and it was also fun. You know, the cast was a very, you know, kind of nice mix of male and female roles, but it was really nice to see, like, you know, the smartest person being a female, and, you know, arguably probably the leader in the film being a female. So that was a lot of, you know, it was a nice role to have in that film.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. So that was nice to have the strong character who needed to stay level-headed and needed to make the plans to, you know, survive and everything. And also with that, it was just interesting that Ryan had this boyfriend who was really sweet and everything, played by Cameron Scott, and he's just a wonderful actor. And you know, she had to kind of keep him safe as well. So she couldn't just think about herself. She tried to think about everyone.
Yeah, I think of all the pairs, that was the most symbiotic relationship. Like they both had their strengths, and they, you know, fed off of them to try to kind of survive. So
yeah,
definitely a nice pair. You know, you mentioned that you knew Alastair from South African films, and this film is kind of notable because it's an all South African cast. Is there, you know, had you worked with the other actors in the film? I know there's a big group of people that are probably all around the same age, so maybe you'd crossed paths before, but I know South Africa's a big country, so maybe not.
No, that's a great question. It's actually, the industry is still very small, but it's a great industry. It's flourishing and doing well. But I've only done like a workshop with Paige. She plays Amber. I haven't had the privilege to work with anyone before Triggered. And what was really nice is we all three became friends, and I just think everyone's really talented, and we really worked hard. It was night shoots and we were tired, but we did the best we can.
Yeah, I imagine maybe there'll be some sort of reunion, but I don't know, maybe everyone's a little too nervous to go to a reunion with everyone.
Exactly. We can do a Zoom reunion, you know, so we can do that.
Yeah, there we go. But that in itself is another horror movie. You'll have a Zoom reunion, then something will come on. You know, I've seen that one too. So you mentioned it, and Liesl also mentioned it earlier, that, you know, the filming was at night. You know, it was in the woods, so it must have been difficult to film with, you know, the equipment on and in the dark. You know, how was that as a process for an actor? It must have been or was it a new experience for you to kind of film, you know, I guess in the real world, for kind of lack of a better term?
Yeah, definitely. Especially it was rainy and muddy and cold, and but I think that added, you could just use that for your character. Because obviously that was where she would be. It would be unpleasant in every way. So yes, it was quite unpleasant, but nonetheless, we had a lot of fun. I think it was really difficult for the technical team too, because if it's so dark and everything, you have to hit your mark, and the focus puller needs to get that. So I am sorry that I missed my mark sometimes, because it was difficult to see and stuff. But I think just the first night it was difficult, but it just got easier in a way as it went on and on and on. And yeah, so it was great to work on.
Yeah, and I guess if you miss your mark, I mean, maybe that just becomes a new scene, right? Like, oh, you tripped and fell and got muddy, and that's just part of the character, part of this experience. It looks real.
Oh, we tripped and fell so many times because you couldn't see, and you would just run and then you would fall, and like, oh, that was great. Was that like a real fall, or it just looked real? And I think they used that. I'm sure they used that pretty much in a lot of takes in the film.
Yeah, that helps to make it look real. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
So was there anything that you all did, as a cat, like everyone is kind of about the same age and probably, has similar interests. Was there anything you all did to kind of establish this camaraderie? I mean, the film has a lot of friendships kind of develop in the movie, and then also at the start, you're all kind of around the campfire. Was there anything that you all did beforehand, or was it just kind of a natural fit for everyone to kind of just establish this friendship at the start of the film?
I would say naturally we became friends, which was really cool. We did go and play laser tag because it was kind of fitting to shoot each other in vests. So we did that, and we went out for dinner, which was so I think actually in real life, Cameron, who played my boyfriend in the story, he was the one saying, oh, let's go play laser tag, let's go eat something. So that was really good. Because for me, I'm an introvert. I'm just, see you on set, bye. But then I was like, okay, we're playing a group of friends. Let's go do this. And I think that really helped.
Yeah, I think laser tag is probably the perfect experience for this. The vests kind of match, the lights kind of match. Did you all pair off like naturally into your pairs when you were playing it, or was it?
Yeah. Me and Cameron, we were staying together, and Aaron was with us, so we were kind of trying to mimic the film. Which, yeah, laser tag's really fun. I actually came third, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, you would have been one of the last to die, so that's good. Yeah, when I was a kid, we played laser tag, and there was a capture the flag mode where you'd split up into two teams and you only have a certain number of shots. And so it became very tense, kind of like I imagine, a real life version of this would be when you're trying to like hide, but also need to kind of go out and get some score. So.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's really fun to do.
And it's interesting you mentioned you're an introvert. I mean, I think that's that the actors don't necessarily have to be extroverts or introverts, but your character was also kind of introverted. So I wonder if that was another draw of Ryan in this film. Maybe related to her that way too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would say I'm an extreme introvert or anything, but just naturally, if I had to choose between staying at home and watching a movie or going out, I'm like, I'll just stay at home, thank you.
So you're doing perfectly right now. It's like
it's no problem. I'm like, what? What do you mean? It's been a difficult year. I'm just kidding. It's been a strange year.
And so now I just want to move to the lightning round. I know we have a limited time, and you've been interviewing all day, so I just want to move. I call it the lightning round. It's just basically really short questions that kind of relate to the film, kind of relate to your character. You can choose not to answer them if you don't want to. I won't be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable. So,
okay.
The first question was going to be, did you play laser tag? Because that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this film. But had you played it before? Was your experience with the cast your first time?
That was actually my first time, but I've played paintball before. Is it in America as well?
Yeah, that is. Yeah. That's
Of course,
much more
sorry, yeah.
extreme. Oh, yeah, of course it's in America.
Of course, in America, it's where it's invented. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So I really liked paintball, and I've had my own. Someone has shot me here and it bled. So yeah.
Oh,
Eh.
that's
Even though with the
yeah.
mask, if you do this, but anyway.
It's still pretty high velocity. I like the idea of paintball, and then I kind of have to get hit once before I kind of get over the fear of it. So
Ooh, yeah,
that's
that's true.
that's an extreme hit, though. I don't think I'd want that one.
No, then you're like, oh, this is so sore. Yeah.
What clique were you in high school?
Oh, I don't know if I was in a clique. I was like we were very geeky in a way. We liked doing well at school and we liked playing sports. So we were just trying everything. We didn't really go out much or anything. So yeah, if everyone's saying, oh, they miss high school, I'm like, I don't know. I just studied so much. So no, not really.
Yeah, well, different people have different,
Oh,
experiences.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't say geeky. Studying, yes. Playing sports, not. So maybe you just were you.
Yeah.
There was no click.
No, but so I'm saying geeky, but geeky is like a positive thing, if
Mhm.
I'm saying that. So I wasn't one of because we were always saying, the people who are geeky, we're going to work for them one day. So I think it's a really positive thing to be a little geeky.
There you go. That's the right attitude. Um, if this was real life, do you think you would be the first, the last, or somewhere in between in this terrible game?
Wow, no, in real life, I'd probably be, I want to say the middle. I think I would be one of the first to go in real life. I'd be just like a mad hatter, like running around, like, what is this? Like,
I think with
I
your
don't.
I think with your paintball experience, you'd probably have some advantage at least. At least you'd have some sort of instincts
Well,
from that.
I hope it kicks in like the paintball experience. Yeah, when it happens.
Where did you and your friends hang out in high school?
Well, in South Africa, we would go to people's houses, like house parties or whatever. But me and my friends, we would usually just hang out and do our projects together, or just. I was in a book club too, so that was fun. Yeah, that's basically. Yeah, house. We would go to each other's houses. Yeah.
Sounds lovely, especially now when no one's leaving anyone's houses. So there you go. Now look back on that and reminisce about that and look back on high school with fond memories that way.
Yeah. That's true.
Did you ever do a big retreat like this with your friends in high school?
Oh no. We did do like a school. The school we go away and what do you call it? Like a school camp? We did do school camps and stuff, and I really didn't like those because everybody shared these rooms, and you would be on these little bunker beds, and the teachers would wake you up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and yeah, it wasn't very pleasant, but good memories.
Yeah. Well, again, yeah, good, different high school memories, different different people.
Yeah.
And so the film comes out November 6th. Digitally and on demand. So you're doing promotion for that. What's next for you after this film is out and everyone has a chance to see it? What's next on the horizon for you?
Next would be a film called The Hacks coming up in December 15th. And at the moment, I have a small but cool character in The Empty Man. It's actually playing in theaters, and James Badgedale was amazing to work with, and the David Pryor, the director, he's absolutely bonkers but intelligent, and the film's very weird, and yeah, so that's the 3 horror films I have this year, kind of at this last quarter of the year coming out, and yeah.
That sounds awesome. That sounds like a lot of a good horror that people can check out in and around Halloween. So that sounds great. I saw the trailer for Empty Man, and I really want to check it out. I haven't been able to see it yet, so maybe this will give me that push to go watch it.
Well, yeah, I guess the trailer doesn't really, how can I say it, like show what the film's really about. It's obviously it's a trailer that looks very horror, but the film's actually much more, for me personally, more intriguing and strange, and yeah.
Well, perfect. So you can check out Empty Man, and you can also check out Triggered, which comes digitally and on demand November 6th. Thank you so much for talking to me. I know you had a long day, so thank you for carving out some time.
No, you too. Thank you so much. This
Take
was
care.
fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was Reine Swart, who plays Ryan in the all-new horror battle royale film Triggered. It comes out digitally and on demand November 6th, so you can check it out and watch it in the comfort of your own home. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot and makes sure all my new videos go straight to you. And as always, please go to watchyourpass.com for all your movie reviews, interviews, and recommendations. Thank you.